My name is Ray Alabi. I am currently pursuing my master's in applied psychology, and I have been a community activist for the past 7 years. I have been a peer navigator, so what I would have done, I would have met trans persons, some of whom were sex workers. I would educate them on safe sex practices.
Transitioning, it was difficult to a point where, when I started to transition, I had to cover up my body. I couldn't really interact too much with people because I didn't want them to know anything until I know what was going on with my body, because I didn't know it was going to affect me. Lose a few friends in starting and after the other side of transitioning. Some of them came back. Okay, now it's easier for me to move around a little bit because I look a little more believable, so some people will be to mind about if I am real or not. Until the one or two who will think or have some knowledge about my sexuality will either try to broadcast it for everybody to know, alright, this person is trans, or this person used to be male.
So you have those few people who try to do that?
Still have a few stupid people.
A young trans woman who is HIV positive, who has not transitioned. Picture this person having a medical issue. I don't know, maybe there's a complication with HIV, maybe something very simple like they have a really bad cold and they go to get treated and they have to undress themselves. And the healthcare worker there sees that this person who was just presented as a woman has male genitalia. But in that moment of vulnerability, as yourself being a sick person, you're HIV positive, you're in a society that looks at you as lesser than human, and then in this moment of vulnerability, this person who's supposed to help you looks at you with scorn. How motivated are you going to be to go back to get healthcare? For the simplest thing, checking a toothache, to get a new HIV test, or to check an STI test in spaces where doctors themselves would look at you with scorn if you put on the paper you're a trans person or you're a gay person. So the challenges are both psychological, and then it is reinforced with the way society treats a transgender woman.
Talking about they were too masculine looking to be drag or trans, and that they should be ashamed, and how much of a sin it was.
Barriers to healthcare is really a multi-layered issue. It just doesn't happen in healthcare spaces. So for me, for the trans woman, the first barrier begins with the self, how they perceive themselves in relation to the society. So there's a challenge in there in feeling that you have a right to access healthcare, that you have a right to go into a place dressed as a woman, even if you're a biological male, and get the same healthcare as a cisgendered male or female. That being said, there is a threat of safety in public spaces. As a trans-identified person, how do you walk down Frederick Street or somewhere in the back of Belmont as a trans woman and feel safe that someone's going to harass you verbally or perhaps worse yet, do something to you physically? And that is in itself the first actual challenge in getting from your home to the healthcare center. You get to the healthcare center now and you meet the guy who praises you with disregard. And you already feel that you don't have a right to be in this place. You don't feel you have a right to be healthy. And the first person you meet there confirms that by their discrimination, or the way they look at you, or maybe the things they say, or the snickers or the laughters amongst the staff.
You know, people watching you, they're just judging you. They don't know you at all, but they'll judge you based on how they look at you. So it's like I went to take an HIV test and in San Fernando, and just sitting down in the room alone, the woman asked me different questions, and I told her that I was gay. And from there, you could see the facial expression change. And when I told her that I have a boyfriend, it was like discriminate. You discriminate from them much better tell them that you're being trans. It would be worse than that. Since I have been in this gay lifestyle, I've never did it before. And I am age 39, and I was being gay since 11. And since then I'm not saying I'm out there having sex, But I never wanted to go and do it, and eventually they said I'm going to check myself because due to past experience, and it just happened, and it was being discriminated, or it was feeling shame to walk in the hospital to say I come to do an HIV test, because the first thing they will say is that you're gay, and that's why they put HIV to gay people only, nobody else.
I think that is the crux of the matter right there, that there is no healthcare policy directed towards trans women or trans men. So there is no way that you could say, I'm going to this morning, I'm going to the Mount Hope, and I'm going to go see somebody to put me on hormone treatment, replacement therapy, who's going to guide me through the process, who's going to see about my psychological health.
Yeah, there's one incident when I were traveling with a friend of mine, but I wasn't completely dressed, but people still take me for female. And my friend was a little bit too loud, and the taxi driver waited until he got out first and then put me out after on the highway.
Some policy towards trans persons and employment. Speaking as a non-gender conforming person, it really is very challenging mentally to get up and get dressed to go for an interview, knowing that you're not looking girly, you're looking trans masculine. And from my experiences with working with trans women who eventually became sex workers, they too have a lot of challenges as males, dressing as what people would perceive to be dressing up as a woman looking for a job. If they do get a job, they're put into the back, they're given the worst set of work to do, the crappiest hours. And these are people who, by far and large, are already on the, within the working class, so they don't have much privilege of class to buffer them. And eventually, many of them destined to sex work. There is already a lot of hostility towards gay persons, and that is compounded when you're a trans person, especially if you're a trans woman. So that is 4 years ago, just standing on the street, hustling to make ends meet. You run the risk of people driving by and pelting you with bottles or getting robbed. And in her case, she was shot. They murdered her. And she's not the first one, she's not the only one. Lots of threats of I think the trans population, trans women, have the highest incidence of violence being meted out to them. And not being comfortable working in spaces in normal 8 to 4 jobs or 9 to 5 jobs, and being forced to work on the streets at night on the corner is an additional risk.
I had this one particular time I was doing business with a police officer, and somewhere in the process, later down some weeks ago, because he was a client, they were having some kind of exercise. And while I was passing, they gathered me up with everybody else. And he asked me this question: if it is that I am trans or drag queen, that I'll go free, and if I'm female, I will be arrested. So I said, well, I'm trans, thinking I would get set free because I was actually going to a party, and instead they threw me with everybody else and charged me for, what was the charge again? Loitering. And that would be the charge. They would charge anybody that is in drag. At a particular time, there's only locking up drag queens for loitering. I was arrested 5 or 6 times for loitering. And it's a charge you could get just simply just walking on the road, going home, going to a party, wherever. If you're now walking down the street, police will come and harass you. You either get somebody to transport you from where you need to go, or run if you see them coming. Because it reaches the point where you're looking at police in the same category as criminals.
Identity is such a complex thing. If you think about it for yourself, you know yourself as Luke or maybe as Mary all your life. Then somebody tries to call you Jane or Janet, and that is not me. who you're talking to. You're not calling me, hey boy, not me, I have a name, my name is Luke. That's part of identity. We understand what it means to feel one way about oneself. There's so much more in identity than just the physical characteristics. How important is identity? Without identity, I can't imagine where someone would be if you were to wake up in the morning and not know who, if I were to wake up and not know who reality is, not be able to say reality is a student, reality is an activist. It's detrimental to the psychological health of the person.